Hey everybody, good Friday morning, top of the morning to you. I'm going to flip the camera and let you see the colors that's starting to come in around Atlanta. Look at that, the trees across the street. Starting to get a little color, going to be heading all up through the mountains and around Georgia. It's fall here. That's the view sitting here at my dining room window right here. And I'm looking straight up and there's a big old moon, maybe 3/4, but it's just sitting right there in the sky right above me. And got the color of the trees across the street. Good morning, everybody. Top of the day to you. Hope you're doing okay today. Eddie Williams Sellers coming to you this morning from Atlanta, Georgia. It's the weekend. The Morning Post this morning. In the days of the Merv Griffin Show, we see now that the goal of Republicans and this administration was to price people out of their health insurance as corporations and rich billionaires get their tax breaks. Even Margaret Taylor Greene sees what is going on, what it's doing to the people in her district. Why are they so hell-bent on taking away poor people's health insurance? We just scratch our heads and wonder, why? Why would anybody want to deny other families and their children health insurance? Makes no sense, this MAGA movement. I'm telling y'all, it makes no sense. The insurance policies for the Affordable Care Act, Obamacare, is online in the AJC this morning, and many of the policies that were around $400 a month are now $2,200 a month, with the big beautiful bill, as the Trump people, the MAGA people, like to refer to it, which the big beautiful bill gave corporations and billionaires massive tax breaks. And they give it to them because they cut out the subsidies of the Affordable Care Act that so many people had to have. People can't afford $2,500 a month for health insurance. That's just their way of doing away with it. You know, saying, we didn't cancel it. If you can't afford it, that's on you. You know, y'all. But I was always a Merv Griffin Show fan. He came on in 1963 and was on until 1986. I was 8 when he came on and 31 when he went off. His show was in the daytime most of those years. I think it came on in Atlanta around 4 o'clock in the afternoon, 90 minutes. I would watch it as a kid. As a boy, 9, 10, or 11 years old, why did I love the Merv Griffin Show so much? A young Joan Rivers, Phyllis Diller, Toady Fields, Ethel Merman. I wonder if that was a gay boy thing. I didn't notice other boys my age who loved watching Merv like I did. Merv was, you can read all about Merv. He had affairs with men and women. Most entertainers, most artists, most creative-minded people on earth are not structured to be strictly sexually one way or the other. Most of them are very fluid. And as was Merv. Is it just me, or does everything Trump accuse other people of? He is. MAGA railed that the Justice Department, the Biden Justice Department, was being weaponized. Yet they have weaponized the Justice Department in a way no one has ever seen or known to be possible, with the indictments of Comey and Letitia James and more to come. John Bolton, yeah. One wonders, will the Trump voter ever come to their senses? Will they ever be able to take the blinders off and see what is dark and evil about the whole Trump administration? Yeah. I did my walk around Grant Park yesterday evening. Grant Park is my favorite neighborhood in Atlanta. I know that Cabbagetown should be, and I do love Cabbagetown. It is the neighborhood I was born in, and the neighborhood I ran the streets of as a kid. But if I'm being honest, I love Grant Park more. I went to Grant Park Elementary School, and then Roosevelt High School, which sat on a hill overlooking Grant Park. As a boy, I thought rich people lived in Grant Park. While walking yesterday evening, I thought, I have come full circle because rich people really do live in Grant Park now. As a boy, I lived with my cousin Annette and her husband Paul in Grant Park, and we lived in a house on the corner of Boulevard and Ormwood Avenue right there. And we would sit on that long front porch that ran all the way across that house and look out over Grant Park in the afternoon. My cousin Sonny and I would go across the street and play in Grant Park. Then when I went through the darkest period of my life, a divorce at 39 after being married for 20 years, of coming to terms with my sexuality, finally, God gave me a house on Ormwood Avenue, 707. And for 17 years, I lived there in that house, healing. You know, sometimes healing takes a long time and can be slow. You can't heal fast, y'all. That's why it's called heal. It's not called fast. Maybe that is why I love Grant Park so much. I got healed there. Back in Pentecostal church days, maybe that's why some people loved a preacher or a pastor so much. They remember that evening when he touched them in the name of Jesus and something healed in their body. They always loved him after that. They had a certain honor toward him. I lived through the Merv Griffin Show years, a time where poor people could live in Grant Park back then. Walking along through Grant Park yesterday evening, I thought, is any of this real? Is all of this just some weird existence that I'm walking through, and one day I'll just turn around and it'll all be like, well, that was nothing real about it. And realize it maybe was kind of like a dream, this existence that we're flowing through, that none of it seems real sometimes, like we are just walking in space, through time, in air. What is real is poor people having their insurance snatched away from them, and Trump and his followers grinning from ear to ear. That's what's real going on right now. Now we see why the shutdown had to happen. Good Friday morning, everybody, sweet people. It is the weekend here in Atlanta, a fall weekend. The breeze is all blustery blowing out here this morning. We fly up to New York tomorrow in the midst of all this chaos, lines and delays. It is Pride weekend here in Atlanta. There's big gay pride in Atlanta this weekend. If I was here, I would go down to the park and be gay. Be big gay. Gay, 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 gay. Be around gay people. Yeah. Yeah. What can I end this with? Go gays. Yeah. Love y'all.